Mike is well known to all of us. He's a member of the Board of Trustees of the LA Community College District and former state assemblyman and former mayor of the city of Monterey Park.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here. Thank you so much, Anne. The United Nations has sent a representative to California to look at our water supply. And the representative, Caterina de Albuquerque, found that there are locations, communities in California where the drinking water quality is lower than in some third world countries. So that's the first point, international attention on our drinking water. The second one is that there are communities within 10 or 15 minutes of here that have to pay twice for drinking water. First, they pay for water at the tap, but that water is not drinkable because it has chemicals and pollutants. And then they have to pay the second time to buy water at 7-Eleven or wherever the local supermarket is. And these are poor communities, communities that don't have much money, communities that don't sometimes speak English at home at a very high rate, 85%. These are immigrant communities. And the third condition for this legislation is that I come from an area that is one of the largest Superfund sites in the United States, which has been polluted by perchlorate, volatile organic compounds, and many, many other chemicals. And the water is so polluted that it is moving and could pollute other large areas. And that's below where I live in the San Gabriel Valley. And so when some of the communities that care about water came to me and said, Mike, we want to have legislation that will make California the first nation, the first state in the United States of America to make water a human right, I said, yes, of course, I will be there. The Assembly bill that I authored, 685, took 2 years to complete because there was so much opposition. And this is what the bill does. Very simply, it says that every time someone in California makes a decision about water, whether they be a water agency, whether they be a city council, a state legislator, a person that does an administrative job about water, they must deliberate, meaningfully consider that water is a human right in California. It doesn't require them to do that, but it's like a jury instruction. I don't know if any of you served on a jury. And the judge doesn't say you must find this person guilty or innocent. It says you must follow these guidelines to deliberate, to show that you understand what the rules are for making a critical decision. And what we did was we got all the different disadvantaged communities from California to come together and say that water is life. Water is health. Water is the future of our children. Water is the future of our economy. Because when people have to pay too much for water, they pay less for food. If businesses spend too much on water, they spend less on creating and maintaining adequate jobs. And so after 2 years and a huge, huge fight in the legislature, the first year I was told that bill was dead. But like hope and like water welling up where the dark, dry, dusty earth once was, hope and water began to flow. And so on September 25th, almost exactly a year ago, Governor Brown signed Assembly Bill 685. So I want to tell you that this bill has great legs, and there are bills right now in the legislature that are trying to build on this bill. And so what I did was simply add one drop of water that started to build and hopefully will build into a giant stream, a giant tidal wave of moral authority to make sure that we have safe, clean, and affordable water, because that is our right.